Hello everybody, welcome to another demonstration from the Greco Technology or GrecTech area. My name is Chris Greco, I'm your narrator for today. There's a couple of things, just a quick agenda on what we'd like to do today, and that is the first thing you need to do is download the QGIS Quantum GIS system. Now that's located at the QGIS.org site. You can download that for free. Just make sure you have your antivirus on. I'm not saying there's any viruses in there, but you always want to be careful whenever you're doing especially free and open source downloads. You want to download the Natural Earth template, which is given at the end of the video, and then in a previous video I'll show you how to put that into a template. We're going to use the join function that is available within that QGIS system, and we'll make the Choropleth map. So all those areas we're going to cover today in a relatively quick demonstration. So the first thing I want to do is to show you exactly what it is there is to have with QGIS. So just very quickly, I'm going to go through some of the different tabs. And you can see there's a lot of applications here. And most of them are, you see them, edit, view, all the different things that you see in many of the other applications. You do have plugins that you can manage and actually plug in a different add-ins for all intents and purposes. And then all these different areas you can take a look at. So you can definitely back this up. You can slow it down. You can just take a look at each of these different. I tried to go through each of the different tabs to make sure you knew what was going on. So once you go through that and you understand where exactly those different tabs are and what we're talking about, then you can have. I already have a U.S. stuff here, which is one that I had made up, a recent project. So I'm just going to go ahead and double click on that. When that comes up, you're going to see that there's nothing on there, nothing. And the reason is because I need to get rid of some of these old areas, old layers that I had originally put in there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these. I already had made up a Choropleth map with this one here. So I'm going to double click on that, and that comes up to properties. And I'm just going to use just what they call a single symbol. And when I apply it, you can see now it comes up with all the state boundaries, which is exactly what I want. So there's the state boundaries for the United States as well as Mexico and Canada. And the blue represents the oceans, of course, the different seas. So that's in that area. I'm going to eliminate these layers. These are old layers. I'm going to eliminate those, and we're going to start from scratch on this to make sure that you understand exactly what to do at different levels to be able to make this thing work for you. So let me just get rid of these things here. And then what we're going to do is when we're done with this, we're going to go and add a layer. So the way you do that is we're going to just, got to make sure we get rid of everything. Okay, we're good to go here. All right. And what we're going to do is going to go to layer. So go over a view layer. So a layer, we're going to add a layer. And what we're going to do is add a spreadsheet layer. So the spreadsheet layers from Excel. I just have to make sure I hit it correctly. There you go. Let's try it again. There. So then what I do is then I'm going to figure out what I want to put in there. Now I have already a layer made up called crimes by state 2012. So I know I got this from the FBI, and it's again, it's a download. And if you take a look at this real quick, you'll see that there's no geometry here. I don't have any geometry. Make sure there's no geometry selected. And I also have all the states in one. The first one is cap, and the rest are lowercase levels. I did this so that I could join it with the already existing natural earth layer that I have in there having to do with states, because it looks the same way. Remember, when you're doing a join, everything has to match exactly, including upper and lowercase levels and letters. So I have that ready to go now. It's in the spreadsheet layer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transition that into basically a shape layer. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to save the feature as. I'm going to export it, save the feature as an Esri shapefile, which is fine. That'll go to ArcGIS also. There's a lot of different layers here. You see all these things. Even AutoCAD, there's a lot of different layers you can put on here. So that's the richness of QGIS, and that's the reason I really like to use it. And it's free, so I don't have a problem with that. And I have a crime by state, which is 2012 shapefile already made up, but I'm going to overwrite that. So I just select that. I'm going to save, and now when you go down, you're going to go down here where it says geometry. Don't go automatic. Use a polygon. Use a polygon. Very important. So then when you hit OK, what will happen is just again, these are all the different areas you have, the fields, and hit OK. I'm just going to overwrite the file. That's fine with me. Now, what I need to do now is I need to match this crime by state to the already existing natural map layer, and I'm going to use the state name as the matching field. But remember, I had to make that first letter cap, the rest of the letters lowercase. I have to also make sure that the CRS there's a little question mark there right next to the crime by state. I need to make sure that that EPSG, basically the layer, is the same. So I'm going to go down here, right-click, layer, and then set it to the same layer as the natural map layer, which is really pretty easy. It gets rid of that question mark, and now I don't have to worry about that question mark to the right of that file anymore, that shapefile. So then I double-click on the natural map layer, and I go down to the join. It looks like a triangle. It's kind of on its side there. Now I join the layer, right? But I want to join the layer of crime. There it is, crime by state 2012. There it is. So I hit that. Now I'm going to join the field. I'm going to join the field as state, right? But you see here it says state lower, L-O-W-E, but lower. State lower, that's what I want. And then I put that against the target field, which in this case is going to be the name, which is also the state with lowercase. So once that's done and I'm good to go, I take a look and I don't need to change anything else. I hit OK. That'll come up as a joined layer. So when it comes up as a joined layer, I hit OK. And now what I can do is I go back up to the crime by state 2012. I double click on that, and that'll bring up the properties area, and that's also in the join. You can see the join there, and there's a little plus sign at the bottom, which I did with the other one. I didn't show you, but there's a little plus sign. So you click on that, and now I'm going to put that against the state, the state layer, and say name, because that's what I want to join the field to the state lower. So basically I'm joining both to one another. You don't have to do this, but it's nice to be able to do it because now they're both joined. And now I apply it, say OK. Now, what I want to do is I want to say, well, I pick something from the natural earth layer. So I go back to the natural earth layer, and that's the 10M state provinces. And I'll double click on that. Not that one. Yeah, that's it. There we go. I got it. Double click, and that'll bring up the join layer, which is fine. I'm good with that. And I'll go 1, 2, 3 down. I have to go to basically the symbols, right? So if you go up all the way up to the far left of that daughter screen, you'll see that third down, you have a single symbol, right? I don't want that. I want graduated. So I have a graduated. Now, I want to base that on something. So you notice I can base that on whatever I want. I do it on violent crime. So I do it on violent crime by state. Now I'll click classify, but I go down to the Jenks, J-E-N-K-S, and that'll show me this area. So it'll show me white to like a light pink up to different areas. I can use the classes to change the number of classes that I have, which is fine. And I can even do precision up in where my arrow is now, and I can make that precision all the way down to integers. So I don't have to, because if violent crimes, you're going to have like a fractional violent crime, right? So once you hit apply and OK, there's your Choropleth map. Now you can mess with these colors all you want. Mess with the colors all you want, and you can make these colors whatever you want. Because you can see that there's a lot of white here, and that's because it's 0 to 5600 or whatever that first ranking is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and change the color, see if I can put some more of those out of the white. So I just and I went ahead and I go down. There's a lot of different ramps that I can use. So I'll just pick one. I'll pick that one. It gives me a little bit more color scheme there, and I'll apply it and say OK. And when I do that now, There were some with just white nothing that now have some color in it. I just mess with the system and see how that works. But that's how to do a Choropleth map using the join function in QGIS. And it is something that you can use to depict different types of integers or discrete or continuous type of data that you want into a map. So, and now remember I told you about the layer, right? Well, the layer aspect on the bottom right-hand corner, I just double-clicked it, and you can see where, you have all these different types of layer, the types of what they call CRS. And basically what it is projection. You try to figure out what projection you want to use, and you make sure that every single one of those layers has the same projection. Because otherwise, if you don't, it's not going to turn out to be a very accurate map. So that pretty much does it, and that's QGIS in a nutshell, being able to do a Choropleth map using the join function. If there's any questions whatsoever, please contact me at www.grectech.com, or please give me an email, chris@grectech.com, and I'll be more than happy to explain it further for you. Thanks very much for your attention, and have a great day, everybody.